Namaste Gopisa Gopika Khanta Rama Radha Khanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vasabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpa Tarupyascha Krupa Sindhupya Ivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
You're perfect at that now, but you're leaving us.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm trying to learn this Bhagavad Gita slokas also.
Good.
Hare Krishna.
All right, we are in the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. That's what it's called. So this chapter is a summary of. It's a summary, but it's at a different level in a way. It gives more information than or a different or that information is put in a different way, from a different angle, you could say. So it is very interesting in its own right, and we are already learning a lot. So yesterday we went through verse 50 and 51 to 53, and then we just briefly touched upon 54. So we didn't really read 54. So that's what we're going to do today. So okay. So the 3-4 verses that we read before this, they're all to do with the Jnana Yoga. And prior to that, we had some verses where we had Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is basically you do your work as you always do, but then offer the results to Krishna. So that was Karma Yoga. And if you do that, then you can also you can try and understand who Bhagavan is and so on. So that is that is a initial stages. People can do that, but we are now beyond that. So after Karma Yoga, we had the next few verses on Jnana Yoga. So Jnana Yoga is uh, is all about uh, getting away from material desires, no sense gratification. So that's like a prerequisite that to advancing further in bhakti. So Jnana Yoga, so you shouldn't have sense gratification or interest in acquiring a lot of material property and so on. So people who practice Jnana Yoga detach themselves from all that. And the other thing with Jnana Yoga is that you shouldn't have any doership mentality. So if you satisfy those two conditions, then that's just the basic part of Jnana Yoga. Then there are, as we read yesterday in verses 51 to 53, and I'll go into this briefly. So this actually talks a lot about all the different aspects of Jnana Yoga, what a person has to be doing. So, as the translation says here, being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. So such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. So you can see that this particular practice of yoga is not simple. Uh, it requires it's very stringent. Uh, it's something that uh, people may have done, I'm sure, in the past yugas, and some people are still doing it today. But it talks about living in a secluded place because the moment you have a lot of other people around, then your mind is distracted and you're constantly you're trying to do other things. So that's one important thing. Then uh, being free from sense gratification, I already mentioned that. Then eating little. So the person in this particular yoga, uh, uh, he basically eats uh, just to live. Not he doesn't live to eat, uh, which is a very common thing these days. But he eats to live, and then and you need to do all this so that you can uh, control the body through different yoga and asanas and so on. And then the mind which is very fickle and is constantly uh, moving in thousands of ways during the day. And then what you talk, walk, power of speech. So all these are control of the senses. Because once you bring your senses under control, then you can control the body, mind, and the power of speech. So uh, then, of course, false ego. You should be free from false ego. And then false strength, false pride. So all these are, self-explanatory and free from false proprietorship. That's the doership mentality that I was talking about. So having achieved all this, a person in uh, in Jnana Yoga finally gets to the Brahman platform. Brahman is a platform which is the lowest stage at, uh, uh, from which a person practicing Bhakti Yoga then takes off from there. But for a Jnana Yoga, that's the end of he has achieved Brahman and he is satisfied. And he has to go through all these uh, acts to get to the stage of Brahman. So that's what this particular purport is talking about. It's a really nice purport. So now uh, sorry, that was, okay, yeah, that was 51 to 53. So now we go on to 54. So 54 is today's, I believe it is today. Yeah, okay. So we can start reading this uh, fairly deep, not too long, but moderately long. So I'll start by reading the verse, and the others can follow. Okay, chapter 18, verse 54. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Would like to read next?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति सम सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परम्. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhakti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare,
I think,
go ahead, go
Mataji.
ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Asha Mataji. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kankshati Samah Sarveshu Bhuteshu मद्भक्ता लभते परम. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Go
I will
ahead.
try Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna to devotees. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kankshati Samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Can I
Then you,
also try, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please.
yeah, okay, sure.
Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sokhati Na Kangsati Samha Sarvesu Bhutesu Matva Labhyati Param. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
This one is Sochati, not Sokati, Sochati.
Sochati. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Mataji, here in Bhagavad Gita, when you see any scripture, see
Mm-hmm.
pronounce as
Mm-hmm.
cha.
Prasannatma. Okay. Na Sochati. Okay. Sochati.
We pronounce as cha, not sa.
Okay. No, so no, no sachati. Sochati.
Oh, cha.
Sochati. Okay. Sochati.
Okay. So we can read the synonyms and translation. Who would like to do
I
that?
can read the translation, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Synonyms also. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Brahma Bhuta, being one with the Absolute, Prasannatma, fully joyful, Na, never, Sochati, laments, Na, never, Kankshati, desires, Sama, equally disposed, Sarveshu, to all, Bhuteshu, living entities, Mad Bhaktim, my devotional service, Labhate, gains, Param, transcendental. Is it okay, Prabhuji? Any corrections?
Oh, that was good.
Okay. So, translation: one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Okay. So one word here. This is Brahman. So Brahman is what the person in Jnana Yoga realizes. It's not Brahman. Uh, a Brahmana, a Brahmana is. So that is in the uh, ashram system. But this is Brahman, the spiritual realization of the absolute truth. Uh, you can say Brahma Jyoti and so on.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
can
So
read the purport if you want.
yeah,
So,
let me see how long it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can read the purport, Mataji. Go ahead.
okay. To the impersonalist, achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage, becoming one with the Absolute, is the last word. But for the personalist or pure devotee, one has to go still further to become engaged in pure devotional service. This means that one who is engaged in pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord is already in a state of liberation called Brahma Bhuta, oneness with the Absolute. Without being one with the Supreme, the Absolute One cannot render service unto Him. In the Absolute conception, there's no difference between the served and the servitor. Yet the distinction is there in a higher spiritual sense. In the material concept of life, when one works for the sense gratification, there is misery. But in the absolute word, when one is engaged in the pure devotional service, there's no misery. The devotee in Krishna consciousness has nothing for which to lament or desire. Since God is full, a living entity who is engaged in God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. He is just like a river cleansed of all dirty water because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna. He is naturally always joyful. He does not lament for any material loss or aspire for gain because he is full in the service of the Lord. He has no desire for material enjoyment because he knows that every living entity is a fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and therefore eternally a servant. He does not see in the material world someone as higher and someone as lower. Higher and lower positions are ephemeral, and devotee has nothing to do with the ephemeral appearances or disappearances. For him, stone and gold are of equal value. This is the Brahma Bhuta stage, and this stage is attained very easily by the pure devotee. In that stage of existence, the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman and annihilating one's individuality become hellish. The idea of attaining, sorry, Prabhuji, I lost where I was. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, the idea
I,
of attaining the heavenly kingdom becomes Phantasmagoria, and the sins are like serpents whose poison teeth are broken. As there is no fear of a serpent with broken teeth, there's no fear from the senses when they are automatically controlled. The world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for a devotee, the entire world is a good as Vaikuntha, or a spiritual sky. The highest personality in the material universe is no more significant than an ant for a devotee. Such a stage can be achieved by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who preached pure devotional service in this age. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. You want to add anything to this? What you?
I think, Prabhuji, what I understood, it is, the practice we have to do. A pure devotee, he does not differentiate between good or bad. He treats everything equal. And once we attain, as a bhakt, once we attain that stage where we do not discriminate between people, thought, good and bad, so that way we can become pure and pure devotee of God.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. With my limited knowledge, Prabhuji, please feel free to explain. And I'm also
Yeah.
reading on my phone, so fonts are really small. So
Yeah, I
please.
know. It's difficult to get the whole gist in just one reading. Yeah, I know. That's good. That's always a good quality to have, what you mentioned. Okay. Would anyone else like to add to this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you will summarize first, or
Uh, Either way, if you want me to summarize, I can do that.
okay, Prabhuji, I just would like to share what I because this is a very important verse.
Right.
So I heard the class of His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and His Grace Gaurango Darshan Prabhu. So
Hmm.
this I'm just reiterating what they said, Prabhuji. Few points. So here Krishna is telling to Arjuna the realization of Brahman. So there are in Bhagavad Gita this Brahman, this word used in different perspective. So first the Brahman is called one of the three features of Lord Krishna. So first is Brahman, which is the effulgence of the Lord, the energy of the Lord. Then Paramatma. Paramatma is reside in our heart, which has both effulgence and Krishna's opulence. And then the third is Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the complete form of opulences, knowledge, effulgence, everything together in a form. So that's why Bhagavan is complete, whereas Brahman is only the effulgence, the energy of the Lord. So here Prabhupada is explaining that for the impersonalist, the Brahmabhuta stage is becoming one with the absolute. So in Gyan Yoga, the who are the impersonalist. Impersonalist means they do not believe in Krishna's form. They think the form, everything is Maya. So they just believe in the Krishna's energy. So therefore, for them, it's very hard to build relationship, because to build relationship, you need to know Krishna and you to serve Krishna. Serve, by serving Krishna, we can become a devotee, and through service, through building relationship, we'll be able to become a pure devotee, which is a very high level. So, like Srila Prabhupada is pure devotee. Now, coming back to the Brahman realization. So, who are the impersonalists? They don't believe in Krishna as a form, that Krishna has a two-handed form. Krishna is a person. He is spiritual, but still he is a person. His body is spiritual, but he comes to do lila in this material world. And so therefore Krishna is a person. So but impersonalist does not believe that. So they believe in, that's why they've said, okay, we'll merge to the Lord's body. So that's very boring. So now coming here another Brahman, which is a devotee can understand. Brahman means self, means I am a spirit soul. So I am also a spiritual person when I am not thinking about the body but the soul. So our body is temporary, but our soul is eternal, and we are the part and parcel of Lord Krishna. So therefore it's coming servant and servitor. So therefore, when a pure devotee understood this, that means they are in the self-realized platform, means they self-realized that we are the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Krishna, because we are the soul, we are the part and parcel of our super soul, our Paramatma. So therefore, that devotee has that Brahman realization. That Brahman means the spiritual soul, the eternal soul. That is also another Brahman. So that way, we need to understand that, and that is a Brahmabhuta stage for a pure devotee. And when pure devotee is in that Brahman realization, means we are the soul, not the body, and we are spiritual, then that devotee is in the self-realized state. By doing service to the Lord, they build relationship, and only through devotional service we able to know Krishna. And when we'll know the absolute truth, that time there is no lamentation for any kind of loss or gain or anything. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela and Srivas Thakur Angan, what happens, Srivas Thakur is a pure devotee, and therefore lamentation or joy, nothing actually influence him, only to serve the Lord. So therefore, in Sribas Angan, one day the kirtan was going on, and one of Sribas Thakur's son was very sick, and he was died at his age, young age, at 7 years of age. He died, and Sribas Thakur did not tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the kirtan was going on, and he told his family members, his wife, that do not say anything to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let the kirtan goes on. And then, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is a Lord. He understood what's going on, what happened. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu find out, and he said that, why you did not tell me about this episode? Why you did not tell me this thing happened in your house? You should tell me. Then Srivas Thakur says, I do not want to disturb you. I just want to serve you. That's the goal of a pure devotee. They don't care about anything else other than serving the Lord. And but what happened, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took that boy, and the boy actually talked, and he said that I am here because Krishna you want. And he was talking directly to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu asked the boy, why you are leaving your parents, why are you going? Then he said that because that was my destiny. About to stay. I was destined to stay here for 7 years, and then I have to leave. And that's the way. And whatever you say, I do. That way he talked to Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu is no other than Krishna. So everything goes around by the by what Krishna wants, as well as what Jiva as karma is. So that way it's actually circled and life to life to life. So that's why the Brahman realization means the self realization, means I am the soul, not the body, and my only duty is to serve Krishna, and that way one become in the go to the Brahmabhuta stage. That's Prabhuji. I'm sorry, I think I took a lot of time, but thank you, Prabhuji. That's what I just would like to share. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I think you explained what Brahman is meant here in this particular verse. Uh, it's from what I understand, you're saying that it's not the uh, Brahma Jyoti, but it's the spirit soul. Uh, it's realization that we are the spirit soul and not the body. It's used in that context over here.
Yes, Prabhu. So for the, because Brahman is a different aspect,
Different. Yeah.
different perspective. So for the impersonalist, Brahman means they want to merge. That's their Brahmabhuta stage, to merge
Yeah.
onto the supreme. But for the
Yeah.
pure devotee, the same Brahman is described as a soul, not the body, the self, and part and parcel of Krishna, which is spiritual.
Yeah.
We are spiritual, the soul. Our soul is
Yeah.
spiritual. Yeah, that's what.
Right.
Mataji, so the impersonalist here means atheist or somebody who believes in God, or
No, Prabhuji, sorry, Mataji. Impersonalist means who does not believe the form of the Lord. Who they
oh, they are not atheists, but they do not believe that God is a form like a human.
form. They think God is formless, and therefore they will do just dhan. That's Jnana Yoga. It's called also Jnana Yogi.
Oh, Nirakar.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are, yes, exactly. They are not of knowledge, and through the knowledge, they will just go to the forest, do dhyan and meditation, and then they think they will merge into the body of Lord Krishna. His effulgent. Uh,
Hmm.
that's because they don't believe of the form of the Lord, so that's why they just go want to merge to the Lord's body. That's it. So they do not have any chance to may build relationship with the Lord, because the devotee pure who does bhakti yoga, they actually um, um, build relationship, right? And how
Mm-hmm.
build relationship? Through our service to the Lord.
Hmm.
We do a lot of service, devotional service. That's the best yoga. Bhakti yoga is the best among Gyan yoga, Karma yoga, and Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the best one, because otherwise will not able to understand Krishna.
Hmm. So once who become that pure devotee, they are Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, which is fully joyful. And Na Shochati means never laments and never desire anything, right? That's what it means.
There already, like Srila Prabhupada, he is a pure devotee.
Hmm.
So he no question of lamenting. And there are a lot of Mataji examples in Srimad Bhagavatam, like Prahlad Maharaj. He never laments for anything. He was so much get punished by his own father, because he was worshipping Krishna all the time, Vishnu all the time. So he is a pure devotee. That's why he never complain, never lament for anything. Always joyful, always taking Vishnu's name. So that's a pure devotees, Mataji, is very high level. We are just mixed. Yeah, mixed.
Thank you for beautiful explanation, Mataji. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Back to Raghu Prabhu. Sorry, I think I took a lot of time.
That's okay, Mataji. That's good. You gave a very good explanation. So the so the impersonalists, they basically believe in the energy. They don't they but the thing is, when you have energy, it's got to be a source. So that source is Krishna. He is the energetic, and the impersonalists believe only in the energy of the Lord, and they think that by doing this Jnana Yoga, they are satisfied in merging with that energy, which is also called Brahma Jyoti and so on. So uh, The analogy often offered to understand this is that if you have the sun, which is the source, then you have the sun's rays. You also have the sun's rim. So the sun's rays are spread out everywhere, and it's like the Brahma Jyoti, equivalent to the Brahma Jyoti, you could say. And that that is what is also called Brahman in another context. And the impersonalists are satisfied in merging into the Brahman aspect of the Lord, which is the energy of the Lord. And then if you go to the sun's rim, uh, you that is the equivalent of Paramatma, which is inside our heart. And if you go to the source of the sun, from which all the rays are coming out, and the heat, and that is Bhagavan. So that is the analogy that's very commonly offered to understand this. Okay, so now if we can I'll try and go through this verse again, go through this. So, so here it's saying that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So one who has attained that supreme Brahman becomes Prasannatma. His soul is fully very joyful. And then the na sochati na kankshati, as we already discussed, uh, he never laments nor desires to have anything, and that's based on all the activities that he did, what we read in the previous chapter. And then sama sarveshu bhuteshu. So he's equally disposed to all living entities, meaning that he looks upon uh, all the living entities, whether they're human beings or animals, because he's looking upon everyone as a soul, as a spirit soul. So the body aspect of it doesn't matter to him. Then, uh, having attained that, then he attains pure devotional service. Mad bhaktim lavate param. So here again, we already discussed this. The personalist and the impersonalist. The object of the impersonalist is to reach the Brahma Bhuta stage, which is becoming one with the absolute. But then uh, uh, the person practicing bhakti yoga, this is actually the basic form of it. He already knows that we are the spirit soul and not the body, and he goes further on because he believes that the form of the Lord is as a person, a transcendental figure, and he that's what he wants to uh, worship. So and he also knows that he's a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, a fragmental part and parcel. He doesn't merge into the Supreme Lord. Some people believe that we merge into the Lord, but that's not right. That they're part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, a fragmental part, and we are the servants of the Supreme Lord. So uh, he's the he's the head, and we are just his servants. Uh, so when we are servants, our job is to serve him. And once we give up all our material desires, then we from which we know that the material desires on earth only constantly lead to misery and happiness, and it goes in a cyclical fashion. So here, on the other hand, once you cross that stage, uh, the personalist he derives transcendental pleasure in serving the Lord. So such a person in Krishna consciousness, when he's practicing Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees and so on, he's always in a different platform, a higher spiritual platform, and that's what gives him the pleasure. Even though we are here on earth, he still uh, very strongly actually lives in a different plane in a way, even if he's living here among the material uh, activities that are going on. So there are several things you've mentioned here. I'll try and uh, summarize. So again, uh, Prabhupada is giving an analogy where people in Krishna consciousness are they're like a river that's a muddy river that's been cleansed of all the dirty water. So that's one thing. And once you're cleansed, which essentially means that you're the covering, the Maya, you have crossed, pierced, uh, gone beyond that, and you're totally in a joyful state. So you're already in a Brahma Bhuta stage, and you rise above and beyond that. Then some of the things are common here. Obviously, the not lamenting for any material loss, or well, those things are difficult to achieve. But the Jnana Yogis, they're striving to attain that through their yoga before going on to realize the Brahman stage. Uh, okay, so there are some things that are mentioned here. I was told that this particular translation, this last part of it, uh, is actually coming from Chaitanya Chandramrita. That's what I was told. It's actually a translation. So I'll try and explain that a little bit. So the persons who have in Bhakti Yoga, for them, it says here that in the stage of idea of becoming one with the Supreme Enlightened One. Okay, so for them, the stage of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman. So the devotee is really not interested in just stopping there, because that is to him that's like it's equivalent of if you have, let's say, a pot with air in it, and then there is also air around it, and you break the pot, and the air inside and outside all come together. That's what merging with the Brahman is. And so that is really not of any interest to he considers that hellish. So he's not interested in that. Because in that situation, you're not an individual. On the other hand, the the the, the devotee is still an individual, even though he's a part and parcel of Krishna. He's serving as an individual. He's serving Krishna. So that's one thing. Then uh, at the most, the then there are other aspects where some by being in the mode of goodness, for instance, you can uh, go to the upper planets. So the upper planets being Indraloka, Brahmaloka, and so on. So that is also not of interest to a pure devotee. He considers that as phantasmagoria, uh, some kind of a fantasy in the sky. That's what that would mean. So he has no interest in that. And then his senses are like serpents whose poison teeth are broken. So both the person in the Jnana Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga, they control they try and control their senses. We control our senses as best as we can through the chanting. That's one of the reasons we have to do the chanting because we want to focus uh, on Krishna, and we know that the form of the Lord and the chanting and the form of the Lord and the sound that they're both non-different. We have read that before. So, uh, so the controlling of the senses here is the analogy is given to a snake whose fangs are broken, fangs are destroyed. So then the snake is useless. It is still alive, but it's useless. So that's what the senses are, the equivalent. So if we control the senses, then we are in a very good shape in terms of advancing further in bhakti. Uh, Okay. So again, here the world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for a devotee, the entire world is as good as a Vaikuntha or the spiritual sky. So again, for those who are really advanced in Krishna consciousness, many of the sannyasis we see, this is what they do all the time, 24 hours, 24/7. And their thoughts are always on this spiritual platform. And such people have very few needs. We see that whenever any of the sannyasis come here, we see that their wants are very simple. They eat very little, and they're always uh, preaching the Krishna consciousness wherever they go. And they are, and many of these, all these sannyasis, they go from place to place, uh, and they sleep in different places uh, uh, every night. So that is not easy. And they eat the prasadam that's offered to them by different matajis or devotees who cook for them. So that to get to that stage when you're almost oblivious of the bodily needs, that's very difficult. But these people have achieved that stage, and they are in a state where they're, although they're living here on the earth, they might as well be living in Vaikuntha. So that's what that means. So then the other point here is that for a person uh, who is highly self-realized, uh, uh, everything on the earth is every sees the spirit, soul, and everyone, uh, and then to him, a very important man whom we think is an important man in the material world, uh, to the self-realized person is no different than an ant. It doesn't matter. He may be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever he is, and he has a name and fame. But you remember, all that is only in the material world. In the spiritual world, all that is insignificant if he hasn't done anything other than just uh, served his own body. So that has absolutely no value in the spiritual world. So these are some of the things. Uh, this last particular one is something that was all preached uh, by Lord Chaitanya, and that's what is written in that book, that verse, uh, uh, Chaitanya Chandramrita. That's where this last few paragraphs I parrot from this Brahma Bhuta down to the end comes from there. Uh, I have that much to say. Let's see what else is there. I think yeah. Anyone else wants to add anything? You know, feel free.
No, hero.
Hang on. Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Um, so we're talking about different types of devotional service, and stuff like that in this verse, right?
Yeah, you can say that, yes.
So, well, I tried like asana, like that kind of yoga, and yeah, that just didn't connect the same way that you know this this yoga does, and following Krishna and everything like that. I just thought it was, you know,
Okay. So yoga really means connecting our consciousness to the supreme consciousness. That is the real meaning of yoga. The bodily yoga is to keep the body fit so that we can focus on all these yogas that we're talking about, the Dhyana yoga, and Bhakti yoga, and so on. So that is not really, it is the physical form of the exercise is good, but it is not what, I mean, it is a yoga, but it's a bodily platform in a way, but we have to maintain the body to do uh, meditation. Uh, that's what you got to understand. But it's good if you're able to do that yoga, which is good. But remember that the real yoga is uh, that's connecting our mind to the supreme consciousness.
yes, I agree, and I felt like that when I was doing the more like physical one, that something was still missing. I wasn't really connecting in a right way. And once I found out about the Bhagavad Gita, and started reading through um, the books and everything like that, it just made so much more sense, and I felt way better than reading the books and going to the class and everything. Like I felt more with Krishna and everything. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good realization. Any other comment? Vasant Prabhu, Sunita Mataji, anyone else?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna for the lovely, wonderful class today. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. No, Prabhuji, no comment. Baswati Mataji, and you explained very wonderfully. I was listening to Radheshyam Prabhuji from Pune, and he used a very wonderful analogy regarding our senses, mind, and intelligence as a family. Senses are like a kid or child. When you go to the store and he asks for chocolate, can I have a chocolate? And mother is like a mind, like let me ask your dad, and dad is intelligence. And so if the mind is not very powerful, then the intelligence has to guide them, and child can keep asking for chocolate, but the intelligence has to say no. And it was wonderful analogy, Prabhuji. But yeah, thank you. It was wonderful discussion today. Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Shyam Prasad, Prabhuji, you want to say anything?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you for giving the opportunity to and our Vasati Mataji. Wonderfully have explained about Brahmana and yoga. Yoga is not only for physical, you have explained just now, Prabhuji. It is not only physical, it is mentally, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. All these yogas are prescribed by Lord Krishna. We are very, very happy about your speech daily, Prabhuji. Daily I am getting my battery charge with you all, our Tampa devotees, Prabhuji. I am in our country, Bharat, but my mind and is along with you all, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Are you coming back or you are staying there?
Not at a fixed program, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
Okay. Okay, nothing else, then we'll stop here. So, right, it's 9 o'clock. So, Vanchakalpada Rupascha, Kripasindhave Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnave Namo
Namo.
Namaha.
Hare
Raghu
Krishna
Prabhuji
devotees.
ki jai, Hare Krishna. And ISKCON devotees ki jai, Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Vaswati Mataji ki jai.
Vaswati Mata ji ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
ISKCON
Krishna.
devotees ki
Raghu
jai.
Prabhu ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna,
Vaswati
Prabhuji.
Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Dr. Harini Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Very wonderful discussion.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vaswati Mata ji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.